Hey guys, it's Chris here from The Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. It's Monday again, which means it's Monday marathon time where we get e-waste from a local charity shop and we try and save as much as we can. One of the things we do on this channel is try and keep as much as we can out of landfill, and all this electrical stuff that's donated generally goes to the transfer station as e-waste. I'm a licensed test and tagger. I like to teach myself how to fix everything. I have a second-hand shop for those that are new here, and so I can often fix up this stuff or just sometimes simply clean it up and then resale it so that it stays in circulation. Someone gets a cheap buy that they're happy with, the thing gets another life, and we reduce the amount going to waste stream. It's very satisfying. Usually it's not economical, but if you guys keep watching my videos, it helps. And if you're just new to the channel and just stumbled across, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you don't even need to watch any of my videos anymore. It's just an extra number on my subscription total, which helps the algorithm, and who knows, you might actually find it interesting. This week, we're back into lamps. We seem to get a run on lamps. We have a pair of 80s era bedside lamps here. They're pretty good. The shades aren't too bad, so I reckon we can just test them and sell them. Won't get a lot for them, but hopefully someone will have use for them. This is a little bit nicer lamp, this one. We have a couple of toasters, we have some appliances, and every week I try and buy something from the charity shop. It's a bit of a personal challenge. See if I can find something to buy that I can flip, and my guidelines are generally I like to at least triple my money. You know, being a second-hand dealer, I've got to make a profit, and it's got to be worth my while. Pretty difficult this week. All I found was a nice little English plate saucer. It's kind of a double bowl. I guess it would be for condiments or something on your dining table. I'll give you a closer look. Quite a pretty pattern. It's probably mid-century, 1950s. And on the back it says British Anchor, Staffordshire, England. Oh, you've got bad reflection there. Is that better? Hostess tableware. So that was only $1, as you can see by the sticker. So I should have no troubles tripling my money on that one. In fact, I think I could probably get $10 for that. If we have to discount it to 5, hey, 5 times our money isn't too bad. Decent profit there. But that's all I managed to get this week. So let's sort out these lamps. We'll perhaps test the lamps first, get them off the bench, and go through what's in the bottom of this tub. And hopefully we can save as much as possible. Okay, after that long-winded introduction, let's get straight into plugging things in. These lamps are, I'm pretty sure they're 1980s or so. They have that kind of just a bit of gold, bit of pink, classic sort of 80s era. And if we have a look at the plugs, there's often a clue in the plugs. There's no protective sleeves on the pins, which came in the early 2000s. They're just a simple molded plug, no earth wire, which you don't usually have with lamps anyway. It screams 80s to me. So as a tester, the first thing I do is just check the cord to make sure it hasn't got any nicks or kinks or any damage that's going to cause it to be unsafe. The pins aren't bent. So not really much goes wrong with lamps. Usually it's cosmetic damage or physical damage that consigns them to the waste stream. This one's got a nice LED globe in it, so that's kind of cool. Sometimes the switches play up, but usually you can just tell by flicking them back and forward. If they play up, they don't usually click back and forward. So that all seems okay. Let's plug it into the tester and see if it lights up. And I've left it in the off position, obviously. There we go, that's on. Yep, that's perfectly fine. The wire on the shade's okay. Sometimes these shades come unglued around the wire frame and you've got to put another shade on them. The bases don't really have enough going for them, but if the shade was no good, I'd find a plain white shade to put on it. Probably only ask $5. But as we've got a pair, and assuming the other one works okay, we might get a little bit more for these. So that one tests fine, no problems there. And the other one, the shade also looks pretty good. It's got a bit of it's a bit of a crease down there. I think something's been resting on it. But that's okay. It's clean enough. I'll give them a brush off. They're a little dusty. And this one, the switch seems to work okay as well. It, again, has an LED globe in it, so that's cool. And the cord looks all right. The pins are a little cleaner on this one. No damage to the cord. Let there be light. Oh, straight away, beautiful, yep. Very good, so we have two working 1980s lamps. I think I'll put these in the shop for maybe 20 the pair, $10 each. and they should sell fairly quickly at that. So it's an easy $20 for me this time. Sometimes I spend a lot of time cleaning something up and still only get $10. Things like lamps and sometimes some other stuff that's fairly straightforward. If there's nothing wrong and it just needs a quick clean, I can make good money for my time. And I need to make up some. As I said, sometimes I waste a lot of time. All right, I'll move these lamps out of the road and we'll check the other one. Now this lamp's a bit more modern. As we can see, it's a nice sort of glass base. I think it actually might be glass too. It's on little faceted feet. Kind of cute. They're probably not glass, but I think the base is. So it's got a bit of weight to it. The shade looks okay. It's a little grubby, but it might clean up all right. It's not damaged. It has an inline switch. It's quite dirty. And this one does have the sleeves on the plug. I would estimate this was probably only about 10 years old or so. It looks like it screws down on the top. Oh, that's better. It was loose. We can probably take that off just to give it a good clean. It's got an old compact fluorescent globe in it, which I'll leave in there if it works okay, although it does need a good clean. But yeah, everything looks good on this lamp too. We'll just check the cord, make sure that's safe, and we'll plug it in, see if it works. Then it's just a clean up, but I think we'd probably get $20 for this one on its own. It's quite an attractive lamp, and I think it'll look much better when it's clean. It'll positively sparkle. All right, the cord appears okay. The switch works all right. Sometimes these switches do play up. And I often keep cords off lamps that are damaged, which have an inline switch in them, because that makes it an easy repair then. Okay, I'll plug it in. Let's put that globe back in. Give it some juice. Oh, yep, she's on. And the switch works fine. These old fluorescents do go a bit yellowy over time and they take a while to fire up. That's fine. I'll clean that up. I'll sell it with that globe in it. So yeah, that just needs a good clean, and I reckon we'll get 20 for this one. Now, just when you thought we were finished with lamps, we have a salt lamp. I had one of these a while back. This is actually quite a large one. And the one I had last time, I forget what I sold it for, $15 or something, and it sold pretty quickly. I reckon we could get at least 20 for this one. Has a bit of a salt deposit on the bottom, which is normal for these. That should just come off. And if you leave these outside or in a room where there's any sort of humidity, they will get wet around the base and sometimes on whatever they're sitting, because the salt rock is, if I remember correctly, it's hygroscopic, which means it attracts moisture. So it'll condense moisture out of the atmosphere and the rock actually feels wet and it will leave a puddle, and the puddle will be salty and it can stain. The best way to have a salt lamp is to have it on permanently. There's enough warmth from the globe inside to stop it condensing moisture. So they look great and they work really well as long as you remember that, because it's no good if you leave it on your nice antique sideboard not turned on and you have a cold winter's day with a bit of humidity and suddenly you've got a big stain on your sideboard. Now the light for it is in the bottom of the box, and they just run a low wattage globe. This is a Philips globe. They're like the globe, sort of globe you'd find in a fridge. 240 volt, and I can't see a wattage on it. It's only going to be 10 watts or something. 15 maybe. Yeah, 15 watts. Okay. So it doesn't generate a lot of light and it doesn't generate a lot of heat, but just enough of both to make them a nice, practical and attractive lamp. So that just has a couple of springs there to hold that assembly up inside, and we can plug it in and see what it looks like. There's an inline switch. The cord looked all right. And there we go. They are a very attractive lamp, and I think we'll get 20. We might even go 25 on that. It is a very large size one compared to the last one I had anyway. So there we go. Perfectly working, quite attractive salt or Himalayan salt lamp, I think they're called. And that will be great. Look good in the shop, and I'll leave that on permanently in the shop. It draws hardly any power. It will look good even at night when people are looking through the window, and I think we'll have no trouble selling it for 25. So we're going to be making some pretty good dollars for minimal effort in this week's episode, which pleases me enormously. It makes up for some of the other weeks. With the lamps all complete, we turn our attention to toasters. This 4-slice toaster is pretty modern. I'd suspect it's a supermarket variety, Kmart or Coles. Oh, Anko, so it's a Kmart one. It's absolutely chockers full of crumbs. Goodness, there's half a loaf of bread in there. Let's take these little trays out. Well, there's not too much in that one. Mind you, I just tipped it upside down, so that's probably to be expected. But it's absolutely filthy. Oh, there's a big chunk of burnt bread down that one. Not sure if you can see down the bottom. But there is a lot of debris in this one. It's very dirty. I'm not so keen to clean it up. The outside case is pretty speckled with kitchen fat or something. I don't know if I want to... Well, look at this. Look at the bread that's falling out of it. So it's pretty much bed and breakfast for half a dozen mice at the moment. Look at that. Can you see that? Is that in shot? So I don't really want to go to the trouble for an Anko toaster, because I did quickly look up the 4-slice Anko ones. The current model ones are like only about $50. There's a lot of work in this really just to still try and get $10. And I haven't even tested it, so it might even have a fault. But I think I'm going to draw the line on this one because I'm a bit short on time. So I think we'll probably just chop the cord off, send it out to Ewaste, and the handful of cold toast lumps. Oh, there's even a raisin. They must have been toasting because that's all squishy. They can just probably go in my compost bin. But there we go. Sometimes you've got to pick your battles. I really don't feel like putting in the effort to do this one because it would be quite a big... Oh, something's been drooping out of there. It'd be quite a big effort to clean that one up. And I'm just... don't have the time at the moment to do it. Right, let's clean these crumbs up. We have another toaster here. We'll have a quick look at. It's a more of a retro style one, this one. I think it's a fairly new one, but it's much in the older style. Even the little handles at the end are a little bit Art Deco shaped. But it's a Russell Hobbs, so it's quite a modern toaster. The casing would clean up well, and it's nowhere near as bad inside. So I think we'll probably go to the trouble to clean this one up. Russell Hobbs were, I don't know if they were better quality, but they were a little bit better, higher priced brand. And this one I think would polish up quite nicely. So we'll give this a test and we'll probably go to the trouble of cleaning that up. Alright, I better clean the bench up before I get any more out of this tub. Actually, let's quickly just test this toaster to make sure it is safe, and then we can clean it up afterwards. It's plugged into my appliance tester and we have an earth and the tester likes it, so all's good there. Does it work? Sounds like it's working. We don't have a light on. Oh, there we go. You have to push a button for a light. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, that's a defrost. The eject works. Interesting, the light doesn't come on when you push the toast down for normal toast. Oh, the elements look a bit corroded in here. I think this has been stored in very poor condition. It's actually still on. I think all the elements are heating up. But looking at the ones at the top, they look very corroded. I'm not sure how you're going seeing the light in there. And they're not all glowing red. I mean, they have to be connected for them to toast. So you don't necessarily see every strand of the element red because some areas seem to heat up better than others. I can't see. Oh, yeah. I think they are all working, but they look quite corroded. So I don't know that I really want to sell this one because they look like they're not going to last. All right. I think we might save ourselves the job because I think there's a fault that that light doesn't come on as well. But given with how corroded those terminals, those elements look, I'm going to scrap this one as well. Okay, let's deal with both these toasters. It pains me to scrap them when they could be saved, but it does take a lot of time to clean them up. And realistically, I'm only going to get $10 tops for both of them. Well, each, but it's just time that I can't spare at the moment. That's got a bit of a dent in the front too, so I don't think they would clean up to look new anyway. They would still look like second-hand toasters. So in the interests of saving time, I'm going to cut the plugs off the cords and the cords from the toasters. And both of these ones can go to the transfer station. So we do get a little bit of cord for our kitty. The plugs will go to Ewaste as well. And what's that leave us in the tub here? We have some sort of kitchen appliance. It's a Philips Event. Is it some sort of blender? Looks like it is. I guess that goes with it. Is there more fittings? Oh, there's a little jug thing and a scraper. I'm not totally sure what it is. Looks like it's some type of blender. It's got little blades in there, so, but it may be missing components from the top. Yeah, well, we do have a little cutter thing. I don't know what's supposed to go in the top. I might have to do a bit of checking on this one because it may well be missing some parts. I guess we can test it. It basically is going to, oh, it says, is that a steam function? All right, I shall do some checking before I plug it in, just so I know what it's supposed to do. What else is in here? We have a retro clock radio. That's pretty cool. It's a Gold Air one. It's only a tiny one. And it only has AM, medium wave, no FM, so probably early 70s. It's absolutely caked in dust, but that's pretty cool. The retro made in Hong Kong, typical of the 70s era stuff. The retro clock radio that I had in a recent video I actually sold on the weekend for $15. So we did get a buyer for that, and the lady actually said she just wanted an AM radio. She didn't need FM, and to have a clock with it was a bonus for her. This one's really cute. I kind of like it. So we'll check that in a second. We have a, what is that? It looks like a charging dock for something. USB. It's the modern USB-C plug, which is handy. I mean, I use those cords if we don't actually use this. Now, it's definitely got two little terminals in there, so it's for charging something. But I don't think, anything that could, no, it just says charging base, but I don't know what it's for. Unless it's in here. What is this? Ah, okay, these are hair crimpers. And I guess they're rechargeable. Look at that. Very cute. So they should, assuming they work, they should sell well. They look absolutely sparkling new. Look like they've never been used. Do they turn on without charging? Are they charged already? No life there. We'll have to put them in the charger and see if they come to life. And the only other thing we have in the tub is a standard IEC power cord, like a computer cord, and I don't think I have anything that actually requires it, so that's okay. I sell these at the shop for about $2. Tub's empty. Now I've just checked out this hair straightener and it didn't need charging, it was fully charged. But the little switch here, there's a switch with an airplane on it. I guess it's a safety switch so that when that switch there, it can't get bumped on while it's in your luggage and heat up. So I'm wondering if the last owner even knew that because it looks brand new. So with that switch off, it powers up, it's on full power, it does get hot fairly quickly, and it does look absolutely brand new. So I've checked these out online. I found one retailer in the US selling them at 50 US, so that's about, what, $80 I suppose, Australian. I found some cheaper on some of the big Chinese retail platforms, but they had like minimum of purchase of 500 of them or 1,000 of them, so it's obviously a wholesale situation. But I think I can get $20 for this easily with the charging base and the USB cord. And I did try charging it off my laptop and it started to charge even though it's got full power now. So that all works beautifully well, doesn't even need a clean. Excellent, pretty happy with that. Now I checked out this Philips Event blender And I think it's Event is a brand name Philips use for all their baby products. And this apparently is a baby food blender and steamer. So we'll plug it in and see if it works, at least the blender part. I'm sure the steamer part will work. It's got no damage. It looks like it's been used a little bit, but not much. So let's give it some power. And there's a switch for steam one side and blend for the other. There we go, that seems to be pretty powerful. So you can turn whatever leftover food you've got into baby mush. Now the steamer, I thought there were some bits missing, but what I've discovered, let's unplug that just in case, or turn it off. This top section, it won't run now anyway, there's a safety switch. This top section actually reverses and goes on here. So that's the steam outlet. And with that in there, then the jug actually goes on. You don't need the blades. I think the jug actually goes on upside down. And you can actually steam things. So I'll turn it on. There's no water in it. The water inlet's on this side. I don't think there's any water in it. But if we go to steam, light comes on. It's obviously heating. It's going to steam up things, I guess, for heating or for like some sort of steam cooking. I don't know if you'd use this little thing in there for that. Perhaps you could. And then this was obviously designed to go with it. So it appears to be complete. It appears to all work fine. It tests fine on my appliance tester. I think they are pretty expensive gadgets, but in my experience, I haven't had much luck selling baby products secondhand. I think people, when they have a newborn baby, they just want to go and buy everything new. But I think we could probably try $20 on this and see how we go. It certainly seems to work well. So that's good. Another one that really doesn't even need a clean up. Just needed a little bit of research to work out exactly what it was. So that leaves us with a clock radio, which is going to need a little bit of attention because it's absolutely caked in dust. I assume it's going to work. I'm guessing it's going to work. We'll plug it in and see. But I'm fairly sure the radio is going to be very crackly. Probably the volume control will need a clean out. Let's see what happens. There we go, the clock's come on. Where's our radio switch? On auto. Okay, the switch has got dust and dirt in it. So is the volume control, as expected. Can we actually pick up anything? Oh, I can vaguely hear some crackling. I think there's so much dust there, it's pretty well sealed the speaker off. Those channels are just absolutely caked in dust. I think it's like a mute. But I can't get much more than a faint crackle. Probably because of all, yeah, there's just too much dust in the volume control. It's a Gold Air. I reckon we said it was probably early to mid 70s. That's a cool looking little clock radio, and I reckon I'm going to pull that apart, clean it up and just fix it. Will we do it in this video? Yeah, why not? We've had no other repairs or scrapping to do in this video. I'll pull this apart and we'll clean it up next. And then we'll have a look at everything on the deck because this is the last, oh, there we go. The last thing to deal with. And we'll then check out the notepad. So let's dive into this little clock radio and see if we can sort it out. It's, these things are quite collectible. And back in the 70s, well, you know, the retro era, people collect all sorts of things. Clock radios, particularly the old flip ones where the numbers flip over, they're quite sought after, and some of them can bring a lot of money. One like this is a pretty budget model and it's never going to be worth a fortune, but you know, once people start collecting, they like to, their range kind of grows. It's a bit of an illness and they then like to buy all sorts of models. So a clock radio collector would probably be interested. I don't know, as I said, that it's worth a great deal, but if it works all right, we've got much more chance of selling it. So we have 4 Phillips head screws. There we go, and the bottom comes off by the looks of it. Nice and easy to get into. Yeah, it's pretty good in there. It's a bit dusty, but not as bad as what it is on top. And importantly, nothing seems to be broken. which is good because this vintage plastic does tend to get a bit brittle. Okay, so there's the bottom of our volume control where it's got a, looks like it's got a switch on it too. No, it doesn't. I think that actually is a switchable one, but it hasn't got the option on this one. So I don't think we can get any spray into it from that side. We may be able to, but I might take that circuit board out anyway. And what we have to get to this switch too, which is under that board. So we really need to pull it all out. Does this pull off? Looks like it will. There we go. Oh, we might be able to get some spray down in there actually. And maybe we can just get some spray in through the top of the switch. It'll save us a lot of taking things apart. Let's just clean up the top a bit. I'd actually like to take the speaker out and give that a really good wash up. So that's the tuning. Now, alright, so let's pull it all apart. It should be pretty easy to get into. The speaker we probably can't take out actually, it's probably glued in. We have two screws holding this board in. Now none of the wires are going to unplug. Oh, the antenna's kind of stuck to the casing. I don't really want to disturb that. So I think we might reverse our decision and not take anything out. In the interests of saving time, I think we could probably get it going satisfactorily just from lubricating through the top. And we'll just give those speaker grills a bit of a scrub with a toothbrush. It'll hopefully make it workable and more presentable. And if a collector buys it, they may choose to pull it apart completely. Oh, the front panel comes out. That's cool. All right, so we can give that a bit of a wash up perhaps. So we might get a toothbrush onto here. I'm assuming there's some sort of cloth over the speaker. Kind of looks solid though. Alright, we'll get some spray into there first anyway. Now we'll try some deoxit down here onto the volume and also into this switch. Given that this stuff doesn't really harm anything electrically and it dries out and it does leave a film of lube, it won't hurt then to spray around those switch buttons because it won't matter if some gets underneath. And I think we're going to use it as a general cleaner. Is that cheating? It should suffice to remove a lot of the baked on dust. Let's give that a wipe down. I think that's actually going to bring the plastic up quite well. Certainly not designed as a cleaner for this sort of application, but let's make the thing multitask. Alright, that's made a pretty good job of that. I can't actually see fabric under there. I don't know how the sound gets through from the speaker because it looks to be solid plastic. But the speaker's mounted under there. Okay, so we're going to get a bit of spray into this switch and give it a good work back and forward. Hopefully that gets rid of some of the crackle. And we'll also get some spray, if we can, into this pot. And we do need to clean the knobs up too. Alright, that looks much more presentable. Let's see if we've improved the crackle, so we can power it up how it is. We haven't unplugged anything. So that's come on okay. Now, our radio. There we go. Still a little crackly there, but it's much better.
It's a confusing area. So initially the idea is younger person to an older person, they are going to be really. And so
Okay, that's working fine. It's not brilliant reception, but it seems to be working okay.
measures of aging.
Volume's pretty good now, actually. But no, that's good. I think that's fixed well enough to sell. We'll put that back together. Okay, that's working well. It looks so much better. There's no crackle at all now. So there we go. That works really well. Good little collector radio. I think I'm actually going to put $20 on that. It's such a nice little radio in good condition. Still needs a slightly better clean, but it's quite presentable. Little wood grain sides are really cute. Typical 1970s piece of electronics. I like that. If I was collecting clock radios, I think I'd keep it. But no, we'll try and get $20 for it. And it works beautifully now. And now we're up on the deck for a bit of an overview of what we've done this week. We've got some really nice saleable items actually with hardly any work other than the little clock radio. Most things just needed a quick wipe over. Didn't need much. That glass lamp did come up very nicely. So I'm pretty happy with that haul. The lamps are quite okay. We have a couple of toasters that I decided not to battle with. So we do have some going to the transfer station. A little bit of wire for our scrap metal bins or our scrap wire bins. And that's it, no rubbish, just a little bit to the transfer station as e-waste, which will probably end up in the scrap metal bins anyway. So there we go, not a bad little pickup this week. Moving on to the facts and figures now, we have a pretty high average sale price or potential sale price, mostly $20. I did up the modern lamp to $25 because the stain on the shade actually cleaned up quite well. So $130 potentially back. And a really good margin on that English plate. We'll see how we go. If it sits in stock too long, I'll drop it a bit, but good profits there as well. The previous week, the retro fan went via a subscriber. Thank you, Alan. He messaged me when he saw it in the video. And the wax warmer also went from someone that spotted it on my Facebook post. So both of those have gone before they even went into the shop. We still have the iron and the pink lamp. The pink lamp is now a pink lamp with a black shade. And it should get $5 for it. We have sold that train cake pan. A few of you commented on that. And apparently they were pretty expensive to buy. So I did up the price to $20 and it sold the first weekend. Nothing else has gone as yet. Part 34 and a fair bit of it's gone. I've moved that iHome clock iPod dock thing to the free box and it's still there. The headphones, I think I'll drop both lots down to $5 this week to clear up that lot. What have we sold? I don't think we've sold anything out of here as yet. I think the Foster's ashtray has gone. So yes, I better circle that one. And every week previously, I've actually ruled off because I dropped the prices on a few things. A few things got moved to the free box. They're all finished, other than a couple of the items that I've purchased to flip. But we're doing really well with this e-waste. We're keeping most of it in circulation. This week particular, with the high average price of over $20, I'm sure nothing will end up in the free box. So we're likely to sell most of it fairly quickly, or if I drop it to $15, I think it'll sell. There's some good items this week and minimal work, which really pleases me. So time or reward for effort this week has been exceptional. As I said earlier, that makes up for a few weeks where I toil away for lots of hours with not a lot of return, but the ultimate aim of saving stuff still occurs. So if you're enjoying this series, that's fantastic. We'll see you next Monday, assuming there's enough for me to do a video on. But quite a few people commented on me scrapping out things. They want to see me pull things apart. So even if we don't get much, we might do a couple of scrap outs. So stay tuned. We'll catch you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.